Sanibonani, Dumelangi, Abusheni. Hello. Lekamalami, IamThaboMongezi. And guys, you're welcome to my YouTube. My YouTube channel. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. To my new subscribers, you guys are definitely welcome. To the old ones, ngiyabonga guys for being with me on this journey. So, guys, I actually want to talk about the one day that could have probably changed my life, where I was sleeping and I received an email. So when I receive an email, like there's a notification. So yeah, what I man, go man for to be receiving an email at this time. I was expecting it to be a text or something, but it's an email. So ngigijima again my emails, to check my emails. Boom! Boy's application has been successful. How? Guys applying for jobs, there's something about applying for jobs and not knowing whether it's legit or not knowing whether you're applying at the right place or not, if you're applying with the right people or not. Gotcha. Where this contract is concerned, I got an email in the morning that came from Cecil. And I was so excited, yet, I ask myself a lot of questions sometimes, and there's excitement. And I believe in God's miracles as well. I'm thinking, you'll never know. You will never know. So, okay, guys, I just want to actually quickly check this email here. This is an email that I got from SSO that says, dear applicant, your employment application was successful. Now it actually says, it gives the post that I applied for, the starting day of Msebenzi and where I'm supposed to start working. So it talks about me having to go through the contract, sign it, and go and get a police clearance and submit that before 12 o'clock. And I think when I received the email, it was around 5, if not 6 a.m. So now I'm asking myself, good thing, I got this contract, yes, and what is written in the contract looks legit. It looks like everything, Jay. It's what you can only imagine. For someone like me, there's it gives you the benefits. I'm like thinking about the benefits, like, okay, the benefits are insane. It talks about accommodation. It talks about what you stand to benefit, what you're going to get, and the whole amount monthly that you're going to take home and all that. And now that is exciting because you're looking at your salary and you're looking at what they're offering and thinking to yourself, it's okay, God, this, if it's true, thank you. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is so good to be true. I wake being my partner at that time and say, Vuga wena, you play nilendile. Because I was like excited, and like there was this sense of relief and thinking was, oh my word, okay, if this one need fully straight, God is good, I'm not reading this right, or maybe I'm not understanding. Is this like an invitation for an interview, or I actually got the job? Because I told you also about a contract, and there's an attachment to the contract. He goes through that, and he says, no, it says that you got the job. Also, back in my head, I'm thinking, yes, I remember applying for post SSO, but I've never been to the interview. How are they hiring this? Like, is there like maybe a new style that they just follow their instinct, or they just look at the at the CV and go like, he's hired. Because I did not understand what was really happening. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me stop questioning a lot of things. Let me just go and print out this contract and fill it up and get and see where I can actually find a police clearance. But remember, when you say police clearance, you don't go there. It's not like an affidavit where you just go and say, I want a police clearance. There's a process and it takes cut time. So I'm like thinking, okay, where on earth am I going to get a police clearance within 6 hours? But also on the contract, you must produce a police clearance. And when you're producing a police clearance, uh, if you do not have a police clearance, there's a company that they know that they are referring you to that is so quick you can actually get a police clearance within 30 minutes. We're saying that you can actually get a police clearance within 30 minutes. And guys, you'll have to excuse me because I also have to check here the message here, the guys. So you say, I can actually get a police clearance within 30 minutes. So, but now I'm thinking to myself, okay, why am I being referred? But at that time, the good thing is that the person being Naye knew a place, a Centurion, but say, I think it's where the people do SAYS or something like that, where they do their police clearances and stuff. There's a company that does that in Centurion. So this email talks about the company that they're talking about referring me to a company that does a police clearance for I think it was 500 and something though. They were referring me to a company that does my police clearance for 500 and something. You need to actually deposit the money and they send you a police clearance. But me being me, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna pay the company that I don't know. And it's actually better for me to actually go to the one in Centurion because it's convenient and I was not staying far from there. I'm like, okay, let me just go to Centurion, do the police clearance and send it with the contract because I'm going to go and do like the printout of the contract, sign it and, do the right thing. Maybe I do that, go to the internet cafe, print out the contract and fill it up, go to Centurion and get a police clearance. I think there was it one something, if not two, I think, but it was not a lot of money. I did that. I was like, you know what? If this is true, then good for me. But if it's not, the police clearance would work maybe somewhere down the line. I don't know if it hasn't expired already. Go there, do the contract, like do the police clearance, you send and send the contract and that. So now, when I send that, the person responds and says, okay, this is not the police clearance that they're looking for. She sends me an example of a police clearance that they want that is being signed by the commissioner of Ndondoni. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, and what is the difference? Because a police clearance, I think you want to check, have I been behind bars, convicted? Am I having like some criminal offenses and stuff like that? So what is it that you want to check? Because I believe a police clearance, if it has those records, I don't have any criminal offense, what more are you looking for? I do not understand. I was like, girl, I don't know what kind of police clearance you're actually looking for. You're just supposed to be getting an information that shows I've never been, I don't have any criminal offense. So I didn't understand. And girl was like, no, you need to send this company like this amount and they're going to send you a police clearance. And she sent me an example of a police clearance that they're actually looking for. But I was like, I'm not buying this one. As much as this one looks so good to be true, and I'm happy, but I'm now questioning. I smell kunvanla. There's a rat somewhere when this doesn't make sense. Then now the excitement, it's actually puma again. Now I go to the details now and trying to read, check the address and trying to check now Google and check, what I need to actually make sure now this is actually legit and icona this thing because I really don't understand the concept of having to have someone doing my police clearance while I have one now already on record that I did with a different company, but they want one that is actually being done by the company that they are referring you to. I go to Google, like check my number a Sasso. I go Sasso. And I asked them that, guys, I received the contract here and I did not understand it. Girl from Sasso, she said to me that we are not aware of any posts. kishiwe. And if we had posts out there, we do not hire eventually without an interview. You could have been interviewed and shortlisted and uthathu. But the one that you're talking about, we are not aware of it. Chances are it's just scammers. And back in my head, I was like, it was so good to be true. Imagine if I had paid that 500 and something that they wanted for the police clearance that they do on their side and still not get the job. And how many people are actually paying that amount out of desperation to get the job and paying them? Because I'm sure one or the other, the company that sends the contract and the one that they're referring you to, it's something that belongs to the same person who's just there trying to refer you to his other company side hustle. We're going to send the money eventually for him to benefit as well for the job. And the contract looked so legit. Everything that was there and the benefits that came with that, and you're thinking to yourself that, you know what, my life will change. But unfortunately, it was not the case. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is that please be careful about contracts that you receive via my emails and in interviews that you guys receive in JS2Ben. Because now there's a lot of scammers. There are a lot of people who are doing unnecessary things out there. And we want imisebenzi. We are desperate for jobs. We want change. We want progress. We want dinvo. But sometimes we need to question certain things before we do them. We need to, and in as much as they look so good to be true, we just need to question first. But is this legit? Is this true? And try and get a reference, or just try and check. Would say, okay, are you guys aware of the situation? Is this really what's happening? Try and contact the company. Google, I think helps. It helps, where you want certain information. And I think if you're to Google certain companies' numbers, you'll eventually find them. And you can contact just to verify how legit or how true that thing is. Because people are out here to get us. And they do not care whether you are working or not. And eventually for one to be looking for a job, that means they're looking for something better, or they're unemployed, they're looking for a job. Why are you going to get 500 and something out of the blue as Tuben? Let's say I was not working at that time. That means I could have had or borrowed the 500 and something from someone to do that and still be sending contracts up and down. And then the day I'm left with debts. There's no job. It happens. Because also on my side, there was a time where I was so desperate for it. And I was working. I was so desperate for a job. It got to a point where I would wake up every morning and like, I'm not going there again. This is so exhausting. I'm doing the same thing. I know when I walk into the door, I see Thabo, I see Mongezi, I see Ndlovu there, and this is what I have to do. I actually have to walk in, roll in a tissue, and do this, put it there. I have to take this and put it there. For example, like I'm doing the same thing. I've already mastered that thing in my head. I know, there's no way I can do this with my eyes closed. And I felt that I do not want to be in a space of comfort where I feel good. I'm too comfortable. I know the ins and out. And a very good friend of the same person that I was dating at that time said there's someone there's posts that came out, and the person hiring or shortlisting the people, we are mad. They work together, they're colleagues. So I can send her my CV. But the person shortlisting will want something, a cold drink. That is how people put flowers into polish. They put flowers into a mess, and say, no, something, a cold drink. And you think to yourself, say, no, you should just put it up straight. It's not a cold drink, it's a bribe. And because I knew the person, and my then partner knew the person and trusted the person, said, Why not? This one will never lie to you. And I remember at that time, you cannot always have money. I was not broke, but what I had was my money for my own things, and it was a budget for certain things. I remember I tapped into my credit card and withdrew the 1,000 rand that the guy wanted. And I sent the 1,000, hoping by the end of the month, I'll be speaking a different story or a different tune. I'll be singing something completely different, And I sent the money. I was like, okay, now I'll wait. And I waited. And I waited. The person kept. When my then partner reminded the person came with a lot of excuses that didn't make sense. That, okay, this person is busy with that person, when you're dealing with a middleman, it's something hectic because now we have to wait for a response. Yeah, the other person. So you think to yourself, what is really happening? But now this way you actually tell yourself, because you know what? I just threw my money and I just actually flushed my money. I must just forget about a job that is coming. And for me, that was basically buying a job out of desperation, out of tiredness of being in one environment. Somehow, it might probably have been me being ungrateful of what I had at that time or what I was doing, but I was also exhausted. I was so tired. But in that, it taught me to wait on my turn, to apply for jobs, and if something is meant for me, I will definitely get it without even having to pay a cent for it. Some people do it, and successfully so. They do it and get it, and life goes on. I do not even blame them. It's rough out there. It's hectic out there. Because yes, other people are working, but they feel good, say, I've been here for way too long. Or I don't see any progress, I'm not growing. I'm doing the same thing. Or maybe you're in an environment where you feel good, say, this working environment is toxic. This will be the end of me. Because definitely, yes, we work, but we work under certain managements. People work, they work under certain managements. Akfani, it's different from one place to the other. And some people are not handling it well. So, good rough out there. Good rough. All I can say is that when one wants you to give them money or bribe them for a job, rather have a contract on hand and say, Baba, we exchange it online. Or I get the job, and on my first salary, I'm going to take the amount that you want from my first salary and give it to you. I don't mind. I'm not saying I'm not going to pay you, but I don't mind. Because people out there are playing games, and the more money people have, the greedier they get. They want more. They're so greedy. They want more money. And they want to take from those who do not have. Those who will do anything to have that money. But it's unfortunate to say that is the truth of the lifeless Pilaguyo now. How rough it is, how hectic it is for people to actually get jobs. Not because there are no jobs out there, there are jobs. Not because people are not qualified to get certain jobs, they are not experienced enough to get certain jobs, but because people want bribe. They want to be bribed before they can hire you. They are there hired to hire, but they want people to bribe them for them to hire those people. Someone wants to be paid for him to do his job, not by only his employer, but also by the person they are supposed to be hiring. They want to be paid and bribed. It's unfortunate in Bilo lesiphila kuyo leyo. It's not something we can change. There's corruption everywhere. We try and do it the right way. We try and do it short left. We can only wait and hope for the best and just keep applying and believing Gutsi. If something is for you, you will definitely get it without even having to pay a cent. If it is meant for you, you will definitely get it. With my experience on that, I've learned to wait on God's timing and believing the underground gang is also not sleeping on me. Because wow, good rough, good tough. But yeah, guys, if you're to get something, an email or something about Msebendi, please do a background check. Just double check before you can even do or get yourself into big doo-doo. Just double check. Do not pay for a job unless you see a contract. Or tell the person, I'm going to pay you on my first salary, then you can take your money. Go bad out there, guys. Go bad. But anyway, guys. Yeah. Guys, from me to you, it's love, 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 love. And please do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment on the commenting space below. Until next time, guys. Mega love from me to you.